What's up guys, welcome to the video. I'm going to take the opportunity today to talk about my nutrition and what I'm currently doing post-competition and give you guys a good understanding of how this is all going to work and kind of the benefits of reverse dieting and why I'm doing a reverse diet, how I'm actually going to do it, and whether or not it's something for you to try as well if you've been in an extended period of a calorie deficit. So first things first, I am currently reverse dieting. I started that as of Monday, so yesterday. And all a reverse diet is, it's exactly how it sounds. So instead of gradually tapering calories with the aim of losing body fat, I'm now gradually increasing calories with the aim of minimizing body fat gain as I start to increase my weight, increase my metabolism, and build my calorie intake up to maintenance and beyond, with the purpose of trying to gain size, gain strength, and put a little bit of weight back on, obviously with the purpose of trying not to gain fat. So how I do that is with very small increases in calorie intake over an extended period of time. So, you know, I was dieting for 22 weeks. I gradually tapered calories over the span of 22 weeks. So I'm definitely not going to be reverse dieting for 22 weeks, but I will be gradually increasing my food intake, and the increases all depend on how I'm going in terms of my average weight at the end of 7 days. So my weigh-ins every single morning, I take an average over the span of 7 days. So if they're not increasing or they're only slightly increasing, then I'll continue to increase calories. But if there's weeks where my weight goes up substantially, I'll obviously leave calories the same, because that means that I am putting on weight and I'm most likely above my maintenance. So initially with a reverse diet, or what is also known now as a recovery diet, or a phase where you're getting your food intake back to the point where your hormone levels are getting back to normal, because in an extended period of time in a calorie deficit, so dieting, your metabolism will drop. Okay, so your metabolism drops. You might start your maintenance levels here. By the time you finish your diet, your maintenance levels are all the way down here. Okay, so your kind of metabolic or your maintenance calorie set point will reduce over the time that you spend in a calorie deficit. So the point of a reverse diet is to gradually get you back to maintenance, which we do relatively quickly. So the first few weeks will be relatively large, I guess, bumps in calorie intake to get me back to maintenance level, and the purpose of that is so I can get my hormone levels back to normal. You know, I'm not going to be gaining too much fat initially, which is obviously what we want, but the thing to understand is that over the span of the first few weeks, I'm still going to be in a calorie deficit. So if my maintenance calorie intake is here and I finish my diet here, then these first few weeks, as I increase, I'm still below my maintenance levels for a certain period of time, until eventually I reach maintenance, and then I'm going to be going above that, and that's when we start to see a little bit of weight gain. You will gain a little bit of body fat, but that's okay. That's the purpose of a reverse diet, is getting you back to a healthy level of body fat, to the point where I can recover well from training sessions. It's going to help me build muscle and start to increase my metabolism. So the reason that I don't go straight back into just normal calorie intake is because of the fact that my metabolism slows down. So if this week I was just to go back to the calories I finished my bulk on, I just went back to normal eating, basically ate anything and everything that I wanted, I would gain body fat very quickly. Initially, over the first few days, my body may respond really well, train well, I may even continue to maintain weight, if not lose weight, but eventually it's going to get to the point where I spill over and start to gain weight at a relatively quick rate, with no real benefit of putting on a ton of muscle mass or anything like that. Majority of the weight I put on is going to be body fat. So the reason we reverse diet is to allow the body to catch up, allow the metabolism to catch up to the calorie intake, and we work together. So as I increase my calorie intake, I'm kind of just going off what my metabolism is doing. Some weeks will make bigger increases than other weeks, but over the span of time, I'm going to be getting to the point where I'm slowly increasing my body weight while eating a lot more food. So the benefit of this reverse diet is that by the time I get to the point where I'm in a calorie surplus, my body fat is still going to be at a relatively good level, which is what I did after my last competition over the span of kind of 22 months, which meant that when I started my cut this time around for this competition, my body fat level was at a really good rate, a really good percentage, and I was eating a lot of calories, which made dieting a lot easier. Whereas if after my last competition I had it just blown out, put on a lot of body fat, my calories would have been higher, but so would have my body fat. So I would have either, one, had to diet for a lot longer, or two, lost a lot more muscle mass in the process because of I would have been a lot more drastic changes with my nutrition. Instead, after I reverse dieted, I was able to continue to diet on really high calories. Like, when you get to a point where your body fat's extremely low, it doesn't matter how many calories you're eating, you're still going to feel like shit. And I'm talking low as in getting on stage for a bodybuilding show. But I was still eating a lot of food, especially compared to some people who have to diet on extremely low amount of calories because their metabolism is not healthy enough. So this reverse dieting period, as I said, over the span of the next kind of few months, I'll be slowly increasing my calorie intake, which is, these first few weeks I actually expect maybe to get a little bit leaner. I've got a photo shoot this Friday. I'll be increasing my water intake to try and get rid of a bit of the water I'm holding from the amount of sodium that I had on Sunday. But over these first few weeks, I'm not really going to be putting on much body fat. Like I said, if anything, I may even lean out a little bit more because I'm still in a deficit. But the fact that I'm taking in more calories is going to mean that my training sessions are going to be a bit better because I've got more energy to train, my daily NEAT. So kind of just like the energy expenditure I have throughout the day with that isn't exercise related is going to be a little bit higher because I may fidget more, I may stay on my feet more, I may take stairs instead of taking the elevator, or whatever it may be, because my energy levels are a bit higher. So initially you may maintain your weight, if not get a little bit leaner, but it will get to a point where we start to increase body weight, and there will be a little bit of fat gain, but that's fine. You don't want to be spending too long in a position where your body fat is extremely low because it's not healthy. So that's the plan of attack, guys. As I said, I'm only kind of a few days into the reverse diet, so the increases and the changes that we made this week, towards the end of prep, my calories this week are not much higher than what they were my last week of dieting. So I'm dieting again now. I'm still dieting, which I find to be hard, and mentally a reverse diet can be actually harder than the diet itself because I have no reason to be dieting anymore, but the benefits and the payoff in the long term is huge. So I'm going to be sticking to this, going to be making sure that I make the most of this reverse diet and get as much out of it as I can, because as I said, the benefit is huge. But this week, basically what we're doing is we've really bumped up my carbs in the first half of the day. I've actually increased my fats by a fair bit, but in saying that, I've also dropped my carbohydrates a little bit. So for example, at the end of prep, so towards the end of the diet, on a normal training day, I was probably having 55 grams of fat and 340 grams of carbohydrates. On a normal training day now, I'm having 266 grams of carbs, so 80 grams of carbohydrates less, but I'm having 90 grams of fat, so I'm having an extra 35 grams of fat but 80 grams less of carbohydrates. So overall my calorie intake has raised slightly, but the macros have changed around a little bit. But all in all, I'm still in a calorie deficit, and we'll just judge my increases in calories depending on my average weight, my performance in the gym, how I'm feeling throughout the day, and also how I'm looking. But I think it's really important to understand that with the reverse diet, the aim should not be to stay as lean as you can for as long as you can. The aim should be, this is why we also call it a recovery diet. And the guys from 3DMJ do, I think they've actually got a video about this on their page, so check that out, 3D Muscle Journey. But the aim is to get your hormone levels back to normal, get you back to feeling healthy, training well, get on a little bit of body fat to put your body in a position where you can start to gain muscle mass, and get things back to normal. But if you've got any questions, guys, make sure that you put them in the comments box below. I hope this video has helped you understand a little bit more about the reverse diet. It's pretty interesting for someone that doesn't know a lot about it. It's relatively fascinating, I think, and something that a lot of people wouldn't really know about. And this is where people go wrong after an extended period of dieting. They go back to normal eating and they wonder why they put on so much fat, and that largely is one of the causes of binge eating and that reoccurring cycle. So if you need help with this, or if you've got any questions, as I said, comment below. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I am enjoying the sun here in Melbourne. Today we have 29 degrees, sunny. I'm up on the rooftop about to do some work and have a white monster. That's it for this vlog, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.